I'm going to make some cloud templates from a thicker piece of paper. You can make these templates, but you don't have to. You can just draw out the clouds directly on your paper. So maybe start with a big one. So something like that, and then maybe we can make a smaller one here and kind of make it a different shape. And make a smaller one here. So we're just going to cut these out. So let's use these cloud templates to draw out clouds on the paper. And when you do this, you kind of want to think about what's in the foreground and what's in the background. And I'll show you what I mean by that. Start with a blue cloud right here. And we'll just trace around it. The clouds to be touching. So for instance, I'm going to put this right here, but I'm not going to draw in the blue area because this cloud is going to be in the background. So what you want to do is start where the blue starts and only trace that area. That way the cloud looks like it's appearing in the background and the blue cloud will be in the foreground. So it's similar to this spot right here. We don't want to start over here. We want to start where that blue starts. And notice that I'm leaving some blank spots in between. I'm not just fully covering the entire piece of paper. And so I'm going to stop right here again because this cloud is in the background and this cloud is in the foreground. And again, I'm starting right at the purple here because this is in the background. And I want to get this little spot here too. So I flipped it the other way and I'm starting this right at this pink here. And make sure not to draw out that pink. Just draw around it, even right here. So I searched Mandala sun on Google and I came up with this cool picture. And so what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna lay it right under my paper, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to trace it with marker. So the tracing method is not working for me. because the picture just keeps adjusting every time I try to draw it. So I'm just going to draw it out, but you're welcome to trace it. And the tracing is nice because you kind of get something a little more perfect. But this also is good for you just because it makes you work on drawing skills, keeping your hand steady. I'll probably add in just a little bit of red here. And I'm not copying exactly, just getting an idea of what it looks like. I'm definitely going to change it a little bit. So now I'm going to create these small little petal-like designs, and I want to keep it equal distance around. So what I do is I'm going to do one on the top, and then one on the bottom, one on the left, one on the right, and then I'll do one in between each of those. And that way they're all spaced the same distance apart. And then I'm going to go over that with a little orange too. That's why I want to leave a little space between each one. Since it's easier for me to draw from left to right, so I'm going to adjust this paper. To get a more perfect circle. So what I want to do is I want to go ahead and add these last sun rays in. And same here, I want them equal distance apart. So I will start by making one on the top. And then that one on the bottom. And then there's this one on the left, but it's covered by a cloud. And I'm going to let that cloud cover it. So I'm only going to just draw where it should be. And it would really be here. So it's completely covered by the cloud. And this one runs off the paper. And so then we'll do one in the middle of each of these. To make the small ones yellow in between. It's okay to let it run off your paper. Try to keep it consistently the right size. And then I'm also going to just fill in these rays in yellow. I'm going to do the grass down here, and you can also look up another mandala tree or just any tree, and you can also trace that. A couple green spirals like this. So I want to keep this side consistent. I'm going to do the same thing over here. Let's do a flower down here. So it's like almost half the flower. You can see half the flower. And then let's just add to that in pink. Maybe throw a little yellow in here. Just creating like individual little petals. And it's cool because you can just keep changing and adding designs as you please. I'm going to add a little something here, and then I'll have them kind of meet in the middle. And I think I'll do a few flowers here. Some leaves and flowers. Green for now. And even I'm gonna go over this one with purple. And it kind of gives it a different color here. Let's add an extra flower here and let's make them red on this side. You really can do whatever your heart desires. Just adding a little yellow here to create a little different dimension of color. So for the tree, I'm going to do some mandalas as well. And I'm going to just be creative and just try to think of some interesting designs I can make. And I want to keep it above this line because there's got to be a trunk here. So you don't want to go too far. Actually even make a few leaves here. You do want a few leaves in the tree. And you can make them green, but I'm just making them, you can make them any color you want. Here I'm making them purple. I will probably throw a few green ones in there too. And what's cool, I don't know if you can see this, but when I touch the blue here, it changes to green just between those colors. kind of just looking at the colors. They're very different right now, and I'm trying to make some of them a little more consistent here. And we'll have to fill up some of these spaces with some kind of design. So I think I've got my tree done. I just want to make the trunk of the tree now. So I'm just going to create kind of this twisted trunk here. Maybe even go into here with some roots. Gonna add just a little yellow to that. Some orange. Then I'll just finish off with the brown here. So I'm pretty much done here. When I look back at it, I feel like I could add a little more texture to some of these clouds. So I'm going to go ahead and add just a little texture. Maybe just dots in this one. And maybe some spirals in this one. Basic design in this back orange one here. I'm just going to do some lines, some diagonal lines. And we can even start changing the color up a little bit. Add a little red here. Some yellow. Let's go back to the yellow here. So I'm pretty much done here. I may want to add little details here and there, but we're pretty much done. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks so much for watching.